Kikubor ka Batesi TV. Lawan Rashapi taka Frank Motors, the all-new Altros. Now, with more exciting features. Ka any ride, ka app ban book taxi bat bike, ban pensuk ya ka let kawan katkum ka jingdon kam jongpi, namar bangi nyokor ya ka por jongpi. Download ya ka niga app na ka Play Store.
Hatu pikwa baki jan jongpi kin kuit bha, benar kam, da ka Oswell Soup, hilaban yo na barok kidukan.
Ka IZ Group of Institution Bangalore, kadai ke college babhatam nagabanta ka jingkuli nursing but paramedical course, hospital training, pinyo scholarship but 6% ka kam, haki hospital bahedo India but shabari. Nabanta ka jingkuli ka jingsiyo ka barik but hila ban layu ban kuli da ka education loan. Hila ruban syukola ho number kandai nyo saw san riu pranot. Lani kandai pran riu laisan, ar riu kandai pra.
Tnat Sports and Youth Affairs jong sarkar Meghalaya ringkat ka jing trailang bat ka Eastern Command jong Tnat Sipai Indian Armed Forces haka arpui trek unaitung arhajar arpulai kila pini Paidbah akan dailat Shillong ya kilai tli khusnam jong ka Durand Cup trophy bat ka Shimla trophy kibadai ki rolling trophy bat ka President's Cup kabayo ban rae junom haka jingilang belalong ha State Convention Center Shillong la sakhilang do menteri rang ba chong kajelau konrat kongkal sangma u chief secretary kajelau ba DP walang u lieutenant general u Sanjay Malik u air marshal Tejander Singh lem bat ki he officer ka sarkar jila bat nakatnat sipai kumun chipte bangni ha kini ka lumpung bala pen kre pan pelong na do kalai terik unailar hadu kalai terik unailur arajar pulai on sakhi ya ki ar sautli ken honi le kai na ki than pher jong kari kata ken thup ya baro ki khatli ken hon jong ka Indian Super League bat ki ken honi le kai ki bana shabar jong kari bat kiri ba marjan kum ka Bangladesh bat ka Nepal ki banwan phai byang shekne ka lumpung ile kai hadien ar phnyos nam ken thi nalor kata la pen banaru ba ka Shillong kan de ka wei na ki jakasor ka ban khot pelong ya kini ka lumpung ile kai ka ban salong house nam arajar arsaw.
I first of all would like to thank General Sanjay Malik ji for having agreed to have this program here today to number one, unveil the different trophies under Durand Cup and also to announce that Meghalaya will be one of the host states for the 2024 tournament. Meghalaya has always had a very strong connection with sports and specifically with soccer. And it is quite evident from the fact that many footballers playing at national level have come out of our state, and also from the different teams that have performed exceptionally well at the national level in different tournaments that have been held in different parts of the country. Recently, the Meghalaya team has also made it to the finals of the Santosh Trophy, which was a very big step and another testimony of the kind of talent that our state has and the potential that it can have in the coming years. For us as a state, we have realized that the kind of talent and the kind of passion, I should say, that our youngsters have for different sports and different disciplines needs to be supported in the correct manner. We have seen that in the past, many sports enthusiasts, different associations, different clubs have been able to perform in different disciplines based on the passion and the kind of hard work that they put in at their own level. And we've seen that the kind of support that should be given to these different organizations, and especially to the sports person, was in a way not adequate. And hence in the last 5 years, tremendous amount of energy, a lot of financial support, and different activities have been held in order to ensure that sports is given priority in our state. We believe that the young generation is a ball of energy. We believe that if this ball of energy is not allowed to be nurtured properly, then it will be a destructive force. But if it is nurtured properly, it will be a constructive force. Hence, it is a government's duty, associations' responsibilities, the duty of the society at large, to nurture these young people that we have, to make sure we channelize their energy in the right manner, to make them productive, to make them positive in their thinking, create the right attitude in their minds, bring in a matter of discipline and realize that hard work is important, bring in the patriotism that's required and the love for their nation. And I think sports is a wonderful way to be able to achieve all these objectives. And if sports is not a part or an active part of our youngsters' lives, then we will be missing out on a very, very large section of their character building, of their energy direction, and of the opportunities that are available as a source of job creation also in the long run. And hence, realizing all these factors, the government of Meghalaya has always supported sports activities, especially in the last 5 years. Whether it's having the Meghalaya Games, which was not held for the last 17 years. We held it twice in spite of having COVID. We held it twice in the last 5 years. And we will be having it every year henceforth. We hosted the Meghalaya Olympics, the Northeast Olympics, the Northeast Olympics, which was a huge task. But I'm happy to say that we did it in a very, very professional manner, and most of the athletes who participated have given a testimony, have testified that it was one of the best games that they've attended. Be it different international and national level tournaments. Recently we had the National Table Tennis Championship out here. And hence we are always ensuring that as many activities, as many events, as many championships can happen. It is a right way to bring in the interest and allow our youngsters to show their talent, to work towards winning, and to work towards improving their overall skills. And hence we support and would always want more and more such tournaments to come in. And I'm thankful to General Sanjay Malik and the armed forces for having selected Meghalaya to be one of the host states and next year. And I can assure General Malik ji that we will leave no stone unturned to ensure that the games will be a huge success. And we will make sure everything is done to give you full support.
This is the third oldest tournament in the world and the oldest in Asia. It is conducted by the Indian Armed Forces with the Indian Army in the lead as our contribution to the development and furtherance of football in the country. So this year we are in a 3-city format. We are playing it at Calcutta, at Guwahati, and we've added a new venue, Kokrajhar, in Assam. We are having a total of 24 teams participating, which is the maximum ever. It was 20 teams last year, we've increased 4 teams. And I'm happy to share with you that we are also having 2 teams from our friendly foreign countries. we are having the army team from Bangladesh as also the army team from Nepal. Bangladesh shall be playing in Calcutta and Nepal shall be playing in Guwahati. So these 24 teams are divided into 6 pools of 4 teams each, and the tournament is on a league cum knockout basis. 3 of the pools are at Calcutta and the other 3 are between Guwahati and Kokrajhar. The first match at Calcutta shall be on the 3rd of August, in Guwahati on the 4th of August, and in Kokrajhar on the 5th of August, with the finals to be played at Salt Lake Stadium in Calcutta on the 3rd of September. Also for the people of Meghalaya, Shillong Lajong is also participating in the Durand Cup tournament this year. It was definitely one of our preferred destinations, and we put in a lot of effort along with the government and with full support from the government of Meghalaya to bring up the infrastructure. As you are aware, the Durand Cup is now one of the qualifying tournaments for the Asian Federation Cup. And all 12 Indian Super League teams, which are the top 12 club teams in the country, they participate in the Durand Cup. So the infrastructure and the technical requirements that are there are actually of international standards, right? So we worked hard to try and bring up the infrastructure and the facilities up to that standard. But right at the fag end, because of the vagaries of weather, which is beyond everybody's control, despite the joint best efforts, the ground condition could not measure up because of the heavy rains that came in, and the natural surface grass that was to take root could not fully stabilize. It's not just one-off match, it has to sustain the entire 10 to 11 matches. And played at that high intensity, high competitiveness, there is bound to be attrition. So one is the infrastructure part, but the more important part is protecting the fitness of our players. They can suffer injuries, and a lot of hamstrings and other such tears can happen if the surface is not conducive to even sport. So that was the only consideration, and we are quite optimistic and hopeful, and we shall work hard to make sure that 2024 Shillong is one of the venues. Yeah, so Kokrajhar, as you're aware, is in the state of Assam, and it's one of the most sports-loving cities in the country. Kokrajhar has produced a large number of international sports persons, and football is an immensely popular sport over there. So again, with the government of Assam, as also with the Bodoland Territorial Council, we've been working in step with them to bring up the infrastructure over there and to encourage the youth to take to this sport. As we had said earlier also, our primary aim of hosting this Durand Cup tournament in various parts of the Northeast is to popularize the sport, to bring more youth into sport, to develop the qualities of sportsmanship, of confidence, of camaraderie, and all of these sterling qualities of sports people. So Kokrajhar is one place, which actually resonates with sporting spirit, and that was our endeavor. And by we'll try and take it to more such places in the Northeast region, so that the sport grows and more youth get an opportunity to showcase their talent, to play with the best international players who are coming along with the Indian Super League teams, and that's how the sport shall grow in the nation. So that was the aim. The aim remains to grow the sport within the country, right? To bring in more and more youngsters into the fold of football, so that they get a chance to play at the national and the international level. So the primary aim will remain to expand it to as many domestic clubs and teams that are possible. And within that framework, we'll try and bring in additional countries. I'm not saying more countries. There may be different ones, they may be the same ones, but surely we shall try to make it football, beyond borders and without boundaries, both within the country and in the near neighborhood. Yes, that's very interesting for sure, because Meghalaya is a deeply sport-loving state. So for the moment, let's stabilize first in Shillong, and then certainly as the infrastructure develops further and further, we would like to go as much further into the hinterland as possible, so that more and more youngsters, get an opportunity to participate, as also to witness the high standards of football. So certainly if the infrastructure and the footprint expands, surely we'll take it to more and more corners of the Northeast.
Why we could not host the Durand Cup this year, as stated, On the initiative of the Indian Army, we were also very hopeful, in fact, and after numerous rounds of consultation, ground inspections, the major concern, as it turned out, was the field of play, because the grass was not growing at the rate expected, despite all the efforts which were taken from our side. We understand, as Major General has stated, that the ground conditions need to be, in an excellent condition. Although we had seeded the grass early in the month of April, however, unexpectedly we had an intense spell of drought in the month of April, followed by very heavy rains in the month of May. Therefore, it did not grow as the rate as expected. So taking all these things into consideration, we took a joint decision that we would work on this a little more, and we are very, very optimistic that by next year we would be in a better position, a far better position to host the Durand Cup, and all efforts in that regard, as has been announced just now, are already afoot, and we are working very hard to ensure that there will be a brilliant tournament next year. As stated right now, we are focusing on this one venue because Shillong will be one of the host cities. There will be other host cities as well, I believe, and only a fixed number of matches will be held here. So we are focusing on GN Stadium, but as stated, infrastructure development in other places within Meghalaya is also underway, not only for the Durand Cup, but for other events in the near future which we hope to host.